Hello, we are on day 4 of our STAAR review. We are on page 7 in your STAAR review packet, and today we're talking about functions and y equals mx plus b. So we're going to start off talking about y equals mx plus b. Yesterday we talked about slope and y-intercepts. Our slope, that's our m value. And our y-intercepts, that's our b value. That's super important for what we're talking about today. So we can use our slope and our y-intercepts, our m and our b, to plug it into a specific form called slope-intercept form whenever we write this equation. So our equations are always going to be in this form, y equals mx plus b. So once we know the m and the b, I can plug it into this form, and there's my equation for that relationship. So here are some examples that we have. So right here we have this graph, right? They already found the slope of 1/2 and the b of 3. So my slope, rise over run, 1/2. And my b is where my line crosses the y-axis. So since I know my m and my b, I can plug those into the y equals mx plus b form to get the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 3. So once you know the slope and the y-intercept, writing the equations are super easy. Right here we have a table. We can plug this table into our calculator and find our m and our b that way as well. And then we just plug in those values into our slope-intercept form. Y equals, my m is negative 25, so negative 25x, plus my b, which is 200. And then we have a word problem. So Marcus has $500 in his bank account and deposits $75 each week. What is the balance in his account Y after X weeks? So slope, remember, they use the keywords per, each, and every. So that's how I know that this is my M, because they use the keyword each. My B is my start value, my one-time fee. So that's how I know that my B is 500. He started with $500 in his account. So now that I know my M and my B, I just plug that into my equation. The next part I want to talk about is on page 8, identifying functions. So a function is a relation where each input, my x, has exactly one output, my y's. X values do not repeat. A graph passes the vertical line test. So functions don't repeat your x's. Remember, that's our motto for functions. Don't repeat your x's. So right here are examples of functions because none of those x values repeat. If I look at my ordered pairs, I look at those first numbers, they're all different, right? So since all these x values are different, it's a function. If I'm looking at a table, I just need to look at the x values. I got 2, 4, 6, and 8. Those are all different, so it's a function. For our mapping, remember we're looking at those arrows that are leaving the x values. I can only have one arrow for each x. So there's only one arrow for each x, so yeah, it's a function. For graphs, it has to pass the vertical line test. That means I should be able to draw a vertical line anywhere on my graph, and it should only touch the graph one time. So like right here, I could draw a vertical line anywhere. It's only going to touch it one time. Those are all functions. Over here, they circled y. It is not a function. So for ordered pairs, I have repeating x's for the zeros. Here, all of my x's are repeating as 3s. In my table, I have 2 -2s in my x values. In my mapping, my x values repeat right here. I see that because there's 2 arrows leaving an x. And then for graphs, whenever we draw that vertical line test, I see that it touches my graph more than once, so it doesn't pass the vertical line test, which means it's not a function. For the rest of class, you're going to work on your assignment on your Google form, talking about y equals mx plus b, and functions.